It's the year 2003 we're talking about. The very first MOBA game has arrived, the first version of Dota. The game was created by a mysterious map maker whose name hasn't been revealed yet. All we know about him is his nickname was Yule. He used the map editor included in Warcraft 3. Unfortunately, the game didn't offer a wide range of possibilities during the process of playing. It included only 32 heroes and 32 items to be placed in 6 slots. Since the Frozen Throne expansion pack was released, Dota has been greatly improving. Blizzard decided to release an enhanced version of map editor included in Frozen Throne box. This map editor was used by Steve Ginsu in the process of creating the most popular version of Dota ever released, Defense of the Ancients All-Stars. You will hear about Ginsu further in the clip. Dota has been celebrating its popularity and gaining more and more fans ever since. It is quite easy to notice that it appeared during many tournaments around the world, such as BlizzCon and World Cyber Games 2005. The reason I talk about Dota should not be surprising. This game gave birth to League of Legends. If it hadn't been for mysterious Yule and Ginsu, we would have never heard about the Riot Games baby. Now, you're probably wondering, what's Riot Games? The studio was founded in September 2006 by a 26-year-old Brandon Rice Beck and a 27-year-old Mark Trindamir Merrill. The former is currently a CEO at Riot Games and the latter a company president. Merrill is also responsible for studio's marketing department. These two gentlemen came out of nowhere in the world of games. Before Riot Games was established, Beck had worked as a customer advisor at Bain & Company, and Merrill had been into marketing at Advanced Star Company. Riot's representatives claim that the studio works on some mysterious game based on sessions. They intend to gather a community around the game. Moreover, they want games to be perceived as services and not just products. The 10th of July 2008 was a milestone in the independent studio's development. They claimed a donation in the form of $7 million from two enterprises, Benchmark Capital and First Mark Capital. It wouldn't have been surprising if it hadn't been for the fact that Brandon and Mark were rather unknown in the game market, which is rather shaky and unstable. In spite of that, Mark and Brandon managed to earn the trust of the representatives of the two and received financial help. It is worth mentioning that merely 2 years after Riot Games was founded, they assembled a development team that consisted of people who created games like Ultima Online, Dungeon Siege, Jak and Daxter, Heroes of Might and Magic, Neverwinter Nights 2 or Sly Cooper. Shortly after the investment, Mark Merrill said, "Online gamers are not shy about asking for what they want. Riot is responding with a commitment to creating premium titles that focus on gameplay and replayability in order to build a deep, ongoing relationship with gamer communities." Riot Games hired people working on Dota as well. Steve Pendragon Mescon created a webpage named DotaAllStars.com, which was devoted to all the gamers who played Warcraft 3 modes. Currently, he is a managing director of public relations at Riot Games. The team also invited Steve Ginsu to cooperate with Riot Games. He works there as a game designer and is responsible for creating and designing heroes. So far, he has come up with characters like Fiddlesticks, Kartus, Shan, Mordekaiser, Twitch and many more. To his credit, a special item named Ginsu's Rageblade was incorporated into the game. Merrill admitted that he and Beck were giving some toys to their own version of MOBA game a year before Riot officially came to be, as seen in the interview with Merrill on Warcry.com. It is worth to touch upon a quote from that interview, as Merrill stated, "League of Legends came to be because a couple of very active Dota community members believed that the gameplay was so fun and innovative that it represented the spawning of a new genre and deserved to be its own professional game with significantly enhanced features and around-the-game services. Riot CEO Brandon Beck and I co-founded Riot and partnered with some of the key creative minds behind the creation of Dota All-Stars, Steve Ginsu and Steve Pendragon Mescon, to accomplish this mission, and League of Legends was born." October 7, 2008 is a big day for Riot Games as the studio releases their first League of Legends build. The game is called Clash of Fates. Let's take a glance at the teaser. It is easy to observe that the latest one strongly departs from it.
Heroes come in many forms. Some have vision. Some have grace. And some have strength. But only a few shall become legends. League of Legends, Clash of Fates.
I'm sure that most of you don't actually remember the times when alpha version was released, only a few received invitations to test it. February to April 2009 was a period when Riot officially presented LoL outside the walls of the studio. The testers had an extremely difficult task to do. The task was to find and eliminate all the bugs and glitches in the game. Many functions were unfinished or utterly omitted. That version allowed players to take control over 70 characters, namely Alistar, Annie, Ashe, Fiddlesticks, Jax, Kayle, Master Yi, Morgana, Nunu, Ryze, Sion, Sivir, Soraka, Teemo, Tristana, Twisted Fate and Warwick. After the alpha test had been finished, it was high time for beta test to begin. Despite the fact that LoL worked pretty well back then, Riot was still waiting for the players to come up with their opinions. Beta tests were conducted from 10th of April to 26th of October 2009. It was the period when 23 new heroes were incorporated into the game. LoL now enters the phase of open beta tests, which are conducted for the period of 1 week only until the 27th of October 2009. This is the time when League of Legends has its premiere, and this is where my story ends. It will be continued in the subsequent episodes of this miniseries. Now you know how and in what circumstances the legend was born. In 2006, people in Riot Studios couldn't possibly dream of what LoL achieved by the end of year 2013. I will provide you with more details related to this matter in the next episode. Now that you have had a chance to watch the very first video clip of Minion TV production, it is essential to make a proper introduction. I am sure you noticed my impeccable accent, yeah. It is not so good due to the fact that I was born and raised in Poland. This is also a place of my current whereabouts. My name is Radek Guckarbowski and I'm 23 years old. I have been playing LoL since 2011 with minor breaks of course. What's more, I have also run Nashor TV channel since August 2014. I will publish new materials for you on a weekly basis. If you liked my video, please subscribe this channel and like me on Facebook, facebook.com/tvminion. Goodbye and have a nice day.